Hello everyone. Today we'll be working on playing the blues in 3 different keys. And what we'll be doing is piggybacking on a previous video where we played Louie Louie in 3 different keys. Okay, so if you remember from the 2-finger slide, we understand how to play the shape 1. And that's basically putting your, we're going to play shape 1 in the key of C. We're going to put our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, which is C, and then we're going to put our index finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, which is an E. And this makes a very simple C chord. Now, if we were to play Louie Louie with these chords, it would be C, 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 F, F, G, 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 F, F, C, 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 F, F, G, 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 F, F. And how this works is we have C is the first note, D is the second, E is the third, and then F is what's called the 4. And this is the 4 chord because where you start is 1 in the songs we're using so far. 4 is 4 notes away, C, D, E, F. Then the 5 is 5 notes away on the 10th fret. So we have C, C, C is 1. F is the 4 chord, G, G, G is the 5, back to the 4. And if you notice, that applies for everything. If we were in the key of G, that would be 1. G, A, B, C is 4, and then D is on the 10th fret again. Okay, why am I bringing this up? Well, if you turn to page 64 of the Werner method that I use in my class. This is the edition 2 of Werner. In his newer edition, I'm not sure exactly what page it is, but it's a very good manual, a very good method if you haven't checked it out already. But on page 64 of his 2nd edition, you'll see playing the blues, and it's a 1-4-5 progression. Well, 1 just is where you start. 4 would be 4 notes away, C, D, E, F. And then 5 is 5 notes away, right? So 1 in this, for all intents and purposes, if you're using shape 1, is whatever finger your ring, or whatever note, excuse me, your ring finger is on at the 3rd fret. So this is G. And then if I go to the 4th string, that's F. 4 is the 8th fret, and in this case, whatever note that is, that's an F, and then 5, 10th fret. Okay, so you can start to see there's this parity in how the song works, as well as like in order to play it in keys, we have to go to certain frets. That's like at Y and F. We're not at B, we're at B flat, because otherwise you would be on a different fret. You would have a different relationship between 1 and 4. 1 and 4 is always the same. The names for it change. Okay, so back to the blues. If we were to play the blues in the key of C, we would go with a 1 chord, and let's just play it once. 1, 2, 4. That's 1 measure. Then we'll just do it again. 2, 3. That's the 2nd measure. 2, 3, 4. And here's the 4th. 2, 3, 4. And then we go to the 4 chord, which is on the next line there in your music. That's F, 4. We play it twice. So if you see it, it's blank, you just play the previous chord. Then you notice it goes back to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Then the last line is the most fun. You've got 5, 2, 3, 4 to 4 chord, 2, 3, 4 to the 1 chord, 2, 3, 4 to the 5 chord, 2, 3. Let's do it again from the top. C, 2, 3, 4. Repeats. That's why it's blank. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Almost done with the first line again. Going to the 2nd line, F. Whoops, overchief. 3, 4, 2, which is the 4 chord, right? Back to the 1 chord. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. To the 5 chord, which is G. 3, 4, 4 chord, which is F. 3, 4, C is the 1 chord. 3, 4 to G. 2, 3, 4, back to starting over. Great. So now let's do the same thing in a different key. Let's do it in the key of F. Well, the one chord, as we've talked about already, is a ring finger on the 4th string, 3rd fret. And by the way, you could use your middle if you wanted to. If the ring is really uncomfortable, that's fine. And you can also, instead of using your index on the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, you could use your middle finger. Either one. Right now I'm using ring finger and index. All shapes will be used, so feel free to switch it up. But right now I've got ring finger on an F, 3rd fret, 2nd finger is on an A. This makes a very simple F chord. So we're now in the key of F. So we have F is the 1 chord, B flat is the 4 chord on the 8th fret there with your ring finger, C is on the 10th fret, B flat. Good. So here we go. In the key of F, the blues, starting on 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 is F, 2, 3, 4, and again, 2, 3, 4, and again. Then we're going to go to B flat on the 8th fret there with your ring finger, 3, 4, 2, 3, back to F, 2, 3, 4, repeats, 2, 3, all the way to C on the 10th, 2, 3, 4 to B flat, 2, 3, 4 to F, 2, 3, 4 to C, 2, 3, back to F. Good. So you just played one, what they call chorus of the blues. That's a whole form of the blues. Let's do it in the key of G. So 1 in the key of G is on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. So that's where my ring finger is. Index finger, string underneath, 2nd fret. String underneath, for the record, is the 5th string. So fingers of the fretting hand are on the left, in my case the left hand, but it could be the right hand if you're left-handed. But for my fretting hand, it's 3rd fret, 6th string, 2nd fret, 5th string. This is G. And then I'm going to find C for the 4 chord, because it's G, A, B, C on the 8th fret with my ring finger. That means this is on the 7th. Then the 5 chord is on the 10th fret with my ring finger. Then back to G. So the blues in the key of G begins on G. G, 2, 3, 4, which is the 1 chord, 2, 3, 4, which repeats, 2, 3, 4, 4 times. And then we're going to go to C on the 8th fret, 3, 4. This is the 4 chord, 2, 3. Back to the 1 chord, which is G in this case, 4, 1, 2, 3. All the way to the fun line here. The last line is 5, 2, 3, 4. This 4 chord, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4 to D, which is the 5 chord, 3, 4. Let's do it again. G, 2, 3, 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is G, 2, 3, 4, which is 1, 2, 3, going to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the C chord in this key, 3, 4, back to G, 2, 3, 4, playing that again, 2, 3, all the way to D, which is 5, 3, 4 to C, the 4 chord, 3, 4 to 1 is the 5 chord, up to D, 2, 3, 4. So that's the blues in 3 different keys using this system. It's really great because now all of a sudden you can accommodate more singers, you can accommodate more songs. And it's also worth noting the blues is used over and over again. It's one of the most popular forms on the planet for the guitar. Okay, hope you enjoy.